Hello and welcome, Essex County College family. This is the Virtual Cafe powered by Student Life and Activities. Today's episode, number 103, is our returning student scholarships for fall 2024. We have 9 awesome scholarships available for you to apply for. I'm going to go over the requirements and eligibility for each scholarship first. And then we're going to turn it over to Mr. Graham, Director of Student Life, to go over the application process and the recommendation letters and all that good stuff with you. We're going to get it all covered today. If you have a friend you couldn't make it, or you know people that can't be here, please let them know that this episode will be recorded and published later today on our YouTube channel, SLAO Essex. Once again, that's youtube.com/SLAO Essex for this video later today. All right. Without any further ado, I'm going to get us on our way for our ultimate no-nonsense guide to returning student scholarships at Essex County College for fall 2024. Your application deadline is September 3rd, 2024. September 3rd, 2024. You're going to need to submit your applications via Google Forms. The application link will be sent to your Essex student email by Mr. Graham. Applications that do not meet the criteria will not be considered. Applications require 1 letter of recommendation, with the exception of the Leo Foundation Scholarship, which requires 2 letters of recommendation. All letters of recommendation should be emailed to jgram1@essex.edu. We got 9 scholarships for you. We're going to go over all the eligibility requirements. If there's stuff that you're eligible for, write it down as we're going through, and we're going to show you how to apply for all that afterwards. All right, so here is scholarship number 1. It is the Academic Engagement Scholarship. You need a 3.0 GPA or better. You need to be a new or returning student. New students must submit a copy of their high school transcript. You must demonstrate financial need. That is something that you can do in the essay portion of your scholarship application. We're going to be talking about that more. And you're going to need to be active in campus activities and/or community service. So if you're not active with clubs on campus or organizations or volunteer work, if you do community service outside of the school, that will be eligible too. All right, the Academic Engagement Scholarship. We're moving on to number 2. And it is our Connie Woodruff Memorial Scholarship. You must be enrolled in Essex County College's nursing program. You must also be a single mother that lives in Newark, and you must demonstrate academic promise and performance. What does that mean? Good grades. Must exemplify perseverance and success through personal challenges. That's a fancy way of saying the essay needs to be very serious, and it needs to explain your hardships. It needs to explain everything you've gone through and why you need this money badly. The Connie Woodruff Memorial Scholarship. Again, this is for single mothers who live in Newark that are enrolled in Essex's nursing program. If that's you, it's a no-brainer. Number 3. This is the Frank Dillon Primerica Scholarship. You need a GPA of 2.5 or higher. I think everybody in this room has got a 2.5. And you must demonstrate financial need. Again, in your essay, you're going to explain all the stuff in your life, the job that you have, the children that you may have, the crazy things that have messed up things that may have happened to you this year that have, stunted your ability to really move forward. Talk about that stuff in your essay. Let them know why you need this money. Primerica, giant corporation. They give out these scholarships very generously to Essex County College since I've been working here probably even longer, so we definitely appreciate them. At the same time, I'm also going to say take advantage of the scholarship. Every single person, all 25 of you that are with us today, you all should be applying for this, okay? Moving on to number 4. The Leo Foundation Scholarship. This is the one that we talked about in the beginning that requires 2 letters of recommendation. Every single other of these scholarships only needs 1. This one needs 2. You're going to need a GPA of 3.0 or better. You're going to need to be enrolled in the science or math program at Essex. You're going to need to demonstrate financial need, again, in your essay. 1 recommendation letter must be from a faculty member. The other must be from a community leader, an employer, or a pastor, or someone at your church. So essentially one internal and one external for the Leo Foundation. You're going to need one letter from a faculty member, one of your teachers, and one letter from someone outside of here, either at your job, your church, some volunteer work that you do, an organization that you're involved with. That'd be a good opportunity. All right. When you're asking for these recommendation letters, our deadline is September 3rd. Immediately following this Zoom session, y'all should be sending some emails out, or at least thinking about who you want to ask for recommendation letters. You want to give them a couple weeks to write it for you, get it back to you. That way you can send it to who you need to, or have them send it to Mr. Graham, whatever the case may be. Get on your recommendation, people, now. All right. For the Leo Scholarship, do business majors qualify? I think it's got to be strictly science or math. I'm also going to say, try if you can. All right. The next scholarship is our presidential scholarship. Presidential as in Dr. Boachi presidential. You need to have demonstrated scholastic achievement. That's very broad and vague, okay? Scholastic achievement could be a lot of different things. Use that to your advantage. You must demonstrate community or college involvement. Clubs, cleaning up a park, doing a breast cancer 5K, things like that. Show that you're involved, show that you care, and these people might care about you. And you're also going to need to demonstrate financial need. Again, done in your essay. Moving on to number 6. This is our Sarah Earl Donald Ryan Memorial Scholarship. You're going to need to demonstrate high financial need. You need to demonstrate a high degree of scholastic achievement and effort with a minimum GPA of 3.0. And you must be enrolled full-time. So full-time, high financial need, GPA 3.0, Sarah Earl Donald Ryan Memorial Scholarship. Number 7, the Student Affairs College Success Scholarship. This comes from upstairs, from the Dr. Kirkland's area. You're going to need to have a minimum of 2.0 on your GPA. You need to be registered full-time or part-time for the semester the scholarship is offered. And you're going to be able to demonstrate current financial need, again, in your essay. And you must have completed the FAFSA for the current academic year. I hope you all have. There's never anything wrong with trying the FAFSA, even if you've not gotten it before, always try, especially at the beginning of academic year. We're moving on to scholarship number 8. This is the Vision Care Technology Scholarship. It's another one of our very specific scholarships. It's open to high school seniors who show an interest in eye care and the optical industry, or to our current Essex Vision Care Technology majors only. You need to have a minimum GPA of 2.75. You're going to need to be enrolled in a minimum of 6 credit hours. So you don't need to be full-time, but you definitely need 6 credit hours. You must demonstrate financial need as determined by your completed FAFSA. You must have completed a FAFSA application for the current year. I'm sure that most of you have done this if you're in this scholarship workshop. Very, very crucial. Lets folks know that you're here and you need some assistance. We're moving on. Scholarship number 9 and our last one for the fall 2024. It is the Yadav Scholarship. Again, another specific one. You should be majoring in mathematics or STEM. You must be maintaining at least a 3.5 GPA, and you must exhibit financial need. Again, done in your essay. We have our checklist of all 9 scholarships, okay? The Academic Engagement Scholarship, the Connie Woodruff Memorial Scholarship, the Frank Dillon Primerica Scholarship. You all should be applying for number 3. Number 4, the Leo Foundation Scholarship, the Presidential Scholarship, the Sarah Earl Donald Ryan Memorial Scholarship, the Student Affairs College Success Scholarship, Vision Care Technology Scholarship, and the Yadav Scholarship. All right. That is your complete 9 scholarships for fall 2024 Essex County College for returning students. This video will be available today on YouTube later on. If you need to refreshen up on any of this stuff, feel free to watch again. Reach out to me and Mr. Graham if you need any help too. We're here to help. We have Mr. Graham, Director of Student Life and Activities. He is going to go over the application process, the essay, and all that good stuff with you right now.
Now that Mr. Ott has gotten the hard stuff out of the way, I just want to briefly show you the application. All right, so what I've done is over the past couple of days, I've shortened the application extensively regarding what it is going to ask of you. So presently, all you would need to do is I'm going to send you an email. The email will contain a description of the scholarship, the criteria, and then there will be a link that will be able to bring you to each respective application. So straight from the email, you can click the link. Okay. Um, I'm really just asking for some basic information: first name, last name, your Essex email address, your ECC ID, telephone number, date of birth. All right. And gender. All right. Your major and your current GPA. It is okay if you're not exactly sure about your GPA, right? You know you were 3.5 before summer two started. You didn't get your grades yet. You just put in whatever you have that was available. Now, the next part, I ask you about any awards you may have received, right? It could be inducted into PTK, right? You could have been a part of the Business Honor Society, right? This just gives us a little bit to see anything else you might have been involved in that may not be reflected through your academic records. Now, the scholarship essay is pretty much the same for all of the scholarships. So what I suggest is when I send the email out, I do have this in the email for you. So you already know what the essay question is. My suggestion is you take your time, you open up a Word document, you prepare your essay before you even open up the scholarship applications. Therefore, you can just pretty much copy and paste your essay response into the application. As Mr. Ott said, all recommendation letters have to be sent to me at jgram1@essex.edu. The deadline is September 3rd, and there will not be any late submissions. For any students having trouble getting recommendation letters, I suggest that you let me know as soon as you realize that it may be an issue. If it makes you more comfortable when you send your emails out to professors and communicate with them, you can copy me in it so that I'm aware of your requests. Um, but at this point, I would still say to submit your application. It may not be considered without the letter of recommendation, but if you're having issues, you make me aware and then we can do our best to work through that. Okay. Um, at this point, I don't think there's anything else. So if there are any questions, feel free to ask.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So yeah, I do have a slight question. I just wondering if I just joined in, by the way, so I didn't hear most of this things you said so far. I'm an adult student,
Uh-huh.
uh, about 40 years old almost. This is gonna be my third semester going on now. I've probably taken about maybe like 18 credits worth of classes. I do have a 4.0. I have all A's. Is there something I qualify for as an adult student?
Unless it specifically says you cannot apply as an adult student, then technically that means that you qualify. Like for instance, the academic engagement, right?
Okay.
For new or returning students. So since you're already enrolled at the college and you're coming back, you're considered a returning student,
Okay.
right? Your GPA you stated was above the 3.0, right?
Yeah, it's a 4.0.
All right. Now, if you were active in campus activities or community
No,
service, right? No
I'm not.
community service at all?
I work. I work in a hospital. I mean, that's about my
Hmm.
community service. I mean, is there something you should suggest, like clubs and community service clubs and stuff like that?
I always suggest clubs, but I'm biased towards that because that comes through student life and activities. But I always suggest getting involved with clubs and on campus because that's an additional networking opportunity.
But you're not
Um,
obviously speaking of recreational clubs like chess and stuff like that. Like you're speaking of like student government stuff like that more. Like
now I'm referring to every club because even though chess may be considered a recreational club, all of our clubs are required to perform community service. There's been a lot of meaningful ways that chess club members have contributed to the campus community, whether it's volunteering at campus events or whatever the case may be. So,
okay,
your involvement through any club can lead to engagement on campus and in the community in a meaningful way.
okay, okay,
Yeah. Hmm.
absolutely. Thank you for that.
All right.
And this academic engagement scholarship, is that the only one I should be looking at?
Well, this is just one. There's the Frank Dillon.
All on the
With
website, all on the
they'll all be sent to you via email.
okay, okay,
Like once we're here done today, either you'll have it this evening, or I'll wait until tomorrow until we have the video edited. But
oh
you'll have
perfect,
this no later than tomorrow, and it's going to have all the criteria right there in the email. It's going to be attached in a separate document, right?
okay, okay,
So there are other ones that you would qualify for. I'm
wonderful,
just
thank
happen to be on this particular application.
got it,
Okay.
thank you.
Hmm. Rayana.
Yeah, so a quick question. Earlier you said for the Leo Foundation that, two recommendation letter, one from like a faculty and the other one is from like an employer or whatever, a church person, whatever. But what if your employer is also a faculty? Can that still work? Because he said that it has to be one external, one internal.
Okay. However, this is my interpretation of it for you, Rayana. All right. Let's say you're getting it from a faculty member. When you're looking for that faculty member, you're definitely should be looking towards somebody who has taught you and can speak to your academic capability. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the fact that it says from one community leader, employer, or church. Now, the same way that you interact with your employer here on campus may not necessarily be the exact same way you interact with faculty. I think it's acceptable um under
Okay.
under the context, right?
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
And quick, you said faculty as in like one of my previous teachers?
Yeah, one of your previous professors could be,
Oh yeah,
yeah. Hmm.
okay.
Yep. All right. Raphael.
Hi there. Thank you for taking the time. I have
Hmm.
a question. I'm currently a DACA recipient that does not qualify for FAFSA or any of those benefits.
Hmm.
Currently being paid out of pocket.
Hmm.
Do I have any restrictions when it comes to these scholarships?
The only restriction you have is if a scholarship says, and this is just so that you know for the future. I am not certain that any of them say this currently, but there may be times when you may see a scholarship application that says student must have completed their FAFSA. I
Gotcha.
could I could think of that being the only reason you would be excluded because you're not required to complete it.
Understood. Thank
And
you.
that's why Mr. Ott emphasizes the fact that, see, to demonstrate financial need for somebody who completed a FAFSA, I can go to their financial aid form and see what the determination was, whether you received aid or not, right?
Right.
However, that's why Mr. Ott is emphasizing that your essay is your chance to capture that, right? And how you want to state it is up to you, but that could be how you state it, right? I'm a DACA student, so I did not apply for financial aid. However, I do have financial need based on these circumstances. So that's why Mr. Ott emphasizes that, and that's your essay is your chance to demonstrate your financial need for those who are unable to demonstrate it otherwise.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Mary in the chat wants to know, for social science, would it be considered for the Leo Foundation?
No, this is like the pure sciences, bio, pre-med, they want the sciences,
So I'm a nursing
chemistry.
student. Yeah, I should
Mhm.
be doing Leo, not the academic engagement.
I mean, your general science, I would not because technically you're going into nursing.
Right.
I would do academic engagement if you
Okay.
fit it. I would do Frank Dillon, but I can tell you Leo is more so STEM focused.
So for like adult students, like you said, like
Mhm.
I work in healthcare as well.
Mhm.
Does stuff like that count as outside engagement? Because like I work just about every day. Like I really don't even get a day off to. That's why I do online school. So
That's
I'm even thinking about like getting a recommendation from a teacher. Would they do that for an online student? You know?
I would hope so. I would hope they would do that for an online student. Now, it's funny that you mentioned what the previous gentleman mentioned. Look, you may not have exactly what somebody would consider to be pure community service, but it sounds to me like you're able to articulate your circumstances as to why, right? I mean, there's always a reason for something, right?
Correct.
And maybe that maybe how you have to go about it. I wasn't that active in the community. However, um, I'm engaged and I help out my community through my profession, right?
Mm.
Right.
So there's always ways, right? Yeah, the essay is where you have the power to convey who you are and articulate what you need to articulate,
Okay. Thank you.
right? Just like um, you may be a student who may have a 2.6 GPA, right? But in your essay, you're able to elaborate how, well, yeah, I have a 2.6 GPA, but I was a full-time student working, a full-time job, a part-time job, and raising three kids, right? So it's all dependent upon the circumstance, right? Some people may be able to look from a committee's perspective and say, okay, the person doesn't exactly have this, but they are doing all of this. I hope that made sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Absolute sense.
All right. Any other I can't see the whole grid. Let me see.
Anybody have any more questions for Mr. Graham about scholarships?
Yes, I do. Raphael here.
Go for it.
Okay.
Question about the recommendation letters. You mentioned that we would have to send the recommendations letter to you. When
Yeah.
we fill out these applications, is there a field for us to also attach said
No,
recommendations?
no, there's not because using these Google Forms, I haven't found a very clean and efficient way to do it. So that's why I prefer to have them just come directly to me via email. There's less confusion, right? Everybody has a record of it.
Got it. So
So
the same
yeah,
the same recommendation letters would be then used for each of the applications that we fill out.
it can be. So my recommendation is to have your professors address your recommendation to the scholarship committee, right?
Mm.
And they don't have to speak specifically as to here's why I recommend them for the Leo Foundation scholarship. Dear scholarship committee, I recommend Raphael for a scholarship at Essex County College because of, right? So as long as you keep that part general, then you can apply them to every scholarship
Excellent.
unless
Great
you
point here.
choose to request specific ones. If that is the case, then make sure they're labeled specifically for each scholarship. That would make it easier.
Perfect. Thanks.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, real quick before we drop off, when it comes to receiving these emails, how do you guys find out our email links at this point?
Right now, I can tell you that I have the magical ability to be able to send to every student with the click of one button.
Wonderful. All
All
right.
right. But if you don't have listen, I'm going to let you know right now. It's going to take some time for the video to be edited. So I will send out an initial email today. So my advice to you is that if you do not have an email by, I would say 5 p.m., then check your spam And if you have nothing there, send me an email, because that means that something has gone wrong out of the ordinary.
So
But I have
quick
the
follow-up
ability to
with
send
you.
it to, I have the ability to send it to every student's Essex email address.
If I join this meeting using my personal email address, would
It's
that be
still
an
coming
issue?
to your Essex email. Nothing will affect the sending of the email. It's
All
going to
right,
come to your
wonderful.
Essex email. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you for tuning into Virtual Cafe. That was all of our returning student scholarships for the fall 2024. If you missed this, it'll be on YouTube later tonight on our YouTube channel, SLAO Essex. Tell your people. We hope that you and your families are doing well during this time. Stay cool, and we will see you in a couple weeks. Semester starts on September 3rd, same day that these scholarships are due. All right, stay well. Take care.